Following total atomic annihilation, the rebuilding of this great nation of ours may fall to you. That's why we here at Vault Boys WV will take you on an oral tour of the beautiful state of West Virginia. There's no other place to be better prepared for the impending fallout. Now we go live to our team of experts.
Hello, and welcome to yet another week with Vault Boys WV, a mutated podcast crossbreeding our shared history in Appalachia with the post-apocalyptic state in Fallout 76. I am your country roads scholar, Dave Chaffins, and joining me is my favorite son of a Mothman, Austin O'Connor. How you doing, Austin?
I'm doing great, man.
How's the son of a Mothman doing?
Feels good to be back.
Yeah. How was your break?
I feel like I haven't seen you in 8 weeks.
It's been what they call in West Virginia a coon's age.
Yeah.
It's been a coon's age.
It's been a while. It's been what, 2 weeks since we've done anything?
That's true. You know, I did have the opportunity to see you. And I will explain to you my encounter. I haven't explained to you my encounter with you particularly. So it's Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Right. I'm with my sister.
Yes.
We and my parents and my sister's kids. And so we are going to church. And I'm like, oh, I wonder who will be there.
Are you going to let everyone know this right now?
Yeah, I am.
I'm ashamed.
Yeah, I am. So we go to church and I see... obviously your grandmother, we've talked about your grandmother before, goes to the same church as my parents.
Right.
So
good old
I
Dixie.
See your grandmother. I see your cousins. And I'm like, huh.
My little brother and sister, I think, were there too.
I think, there were kids there. And I was like, there's Austin's family. And so then I see your grandmother. I'm like, oh, hey, Dixie, how are you? And she was like, oh, I'm doing fine. And I'm so glad that you hang out with Austin. He needs a friend and this and that.
She's making me sound like I have zero
And
friends.
I was like, where is he? He was like, oh, he didn't want to come. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, he's at home being a heathen.
I'll be honest. Fully transparent here. I was drinking. I didn't want to go to church buzzed.
Let me tell you something. Let me lay on some truth.
Yeah.
I have gone to church after having some eggnog and whiskey.
Well, that's fair.
And you sing a little bit louder, but everybody's just happy to be there.
Here's the thing. I didn't feel well. I had a sinus infection.
Okay, yes.
The day before, I had driven to Charlotte.
Yes.
To go watch my beloved Carolina Panthers lose to the Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
I yelled a lot. Mm-hmm. I lost my voice. Mm-hmm. I felt terrible. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to sip on a little bit of whiskey and Coke. Mm-hmm. And you know what I did?
What'd you do?
Sipped on a little bit of whiskey and a little bit too much whiskey and a little bit of Coke. And I decided going to church right now is not in my best interest. Because I would burst into flames as soon as I walked in the doors.
I don't think that's the case because Jesus turned water into wine.
That's true.
I'll have you know.
What's that meme? The meme where it's like, you got me there. It's like the dude from Catfish or whatever.
Yeah.
You got me there. All right. Well, I should have been there. But
well, you know what? You can drive to Carolina to go see Cam Newton, but you can't walk down the street to join your grandmother at church.
Cam Newton was hurt and didn't play. I don't want to talk about it. that just put salt in the wound there.
Oh goodness! But it has been a while since I've seen you. I'm sorry to have missed you at the Christmas Eve service.
I was getting a little lit.
The Christmas Eve. That's what we all do. Yeah. I had a nice. Did you have a good Christmas?
It was good. It was nice to see everyone, but I think my family does this thing where after a few days together, everyone just needs a break from each other. Mm-hmm. I think any family is that way. But it was very nice to see everyone, but then I think everyone was happy to have their personal space again. Did you have a similar experience?
I was happy to be home and just kind of be
happy
me.
To see.
You know, it's funny because my wife Selena, she was catching up on episodes of the podcast right as like the final week to work, and I hadn't listened in a while and was just like going through and listening to them and catching up and listened to a few things. And so we're driving into Bluefield on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And if you remember in the last podcast, you were like, I think I'm going to do Christmas shopping on that Sunday and go out and do stuff. And I'm like, yeah it's going to be hard because everybody drives. You have all the old people out that drive so slow. Yeah. And she gets in the Bluefield and she's like, why is everybody driving so slow? And I didn't even think about it. But she was like, oh, my God, you were right. And I was like, right about what? She was like, on the podcast, you talked about this, that all the old people are out on Sunday driving around. I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
something that I've always assumed of her
it's a
and
thing.
talk about, but she's like...
I didn't go on Sunday. I ended up going on Christmas Eve. I got up. I actually went to urgent care that morning. I ended up at the doctor's office because I felt so terrible.
Yeah.
I was like, I need medicine. Like, I need to knock this out.
Yeah.
And I went and then immediately went to Walmart and did some shopping there.
It was,
and then I went to the
on
mall.
Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
I passed by Walmart in the morning.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
It was not very crowded.
Yeah.
So,
I got over there because obviously I had to get my prescription filled. And I was walking through and I was like, man, this is a normal day. It was like, 9 a.m., so it was a little early. But I went to the mall that afternoon to knock out the rest of it, and it wasn't even that bad. I got in and out in like 20 minutes to get my stuff, which, other than the slow drivers, that's why I told you, I always wait, because it's so much easier to shop there than it is here. Because, I went to the mall the other day here, and it was a madhouse, and
For what? What was it? What?
It's like, why are there so many people here?
People love the Macy's.
I don't know. Which, like I told you, so I'm reading again. I'm back into reading. I'm taking that back up. So I went in, and I was like, I'll go to Books A Million. So I go
Book a Million.
Book A Million. I went in there, and this is.
Do we have that in the mall?
Yeah.
In the mall here?
Yeah. I normally go to Taylor Books, but I was there.
We have
so
a book. Like, where do we have a Book A Million in the mall?
Book A Million.
Book A Million. Yeah.
Book Chameleon.
Book Chameleon.
Book Chameleon.
Book Chameleon. Can you see it? Sometimes.
No. So this is my grievance, and then I think we should get into Fallout stuff.
All right. What's your grievance?
So I bought 3 books.
Yeah, you got 3 books.
And the lady was like, "Oh, do you want to sign up for one of our cards?" And I was like, "No, I'm okay." And she kept pushing this card, and then she points to this thing on the counter, and she was like, "If you pick a magazine that you want, we'll give you 3 months free subscription, no commitment, no worries, no hassle, and you'll get a $10 coupon to use today." I was like, all right, that sounds pretty good. That's not a bad deal. I was like, no commitment, nothing. Like, it's just 3 months free and I'm done. And she was like, yeah, that's it. Like, she led me to believe all of this. And she does all this stuff, gets my address, gets this and that. And when I go to sign it, it's like, if you do not cancel, you'll be charged like $200, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, no. I was like, let's cancel this. Like, let's not do this because I know myself.
Yeah.
And I will completely forget to do it. And so she's like, oh, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. You'll have to call and do it. I've never in my life wanted to just like punt books across the room.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that meme from the guy from Giant Bomb that has where he like blinks or like.
It's like, oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, oh,
I
really?
felt my face get red because I was so mad.
Yeah,
I looked at her and I was just like, really, and like several expletives came to mind, but I didn't want to show my rear end in the mall. I didn't want to like be that guy. So I immediately called and canceled it. But I was so mad. I was like, how are you gonna sit here and tell me this? And then I don't know.
She's cosplaying Joker.
Yeah, I want a gift card or something out of it. Like, that's all I need.
Well,
Books A Million. If you're listening, you're not listening, but if you're listening, I want to.
Don't scam Austin O'Connor at the Book Chameleon at the Charleston Mall. Please do not do that.
So that was my pointless venting. I haven't vented that to anyone yet, so I wanted.
Well, I'm glad that
I wanted to let everyone know.
It is now a statement of international concern. I will now say that.
I'll say this though: Books A Million, they have a good book selection, and I like the books I got.
They're the only bookstore they're the only bookstore that's out here other than Taylor Books. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jennifer Gardner.
Yeah.
And with that, we will get into our next segment. So, Austin, I've got an update that's hot off the press from a January 1st Inside the Vault from Bethesda. And this one's so short, guess what? I said that like a real kind of, it was like, so short. This one is so short.
So short.
I love Fallout. All right, let's do it. I'm going to read it off. Later this month, we are providing resolutions by way of new patches for Fallout 76. They're trying to be cutesy with that. Like our December 11th update, we will have a big update that will address many of the issues you've been providing feedback on. Full patch notes will follow soon. We're also building an incredible list of future updates that we can't wait to share, including new quests, weekly in-game events, new vaults opening, a new PvP mode, player vending, and much more. 2019 is an exciting year for Fallout 76, and we can't wait to grow it with you. Keep, and this is underlined and bolded, providing your feedback and letting us know what you'd like to see.
Feedback.
I think it says like Happy New Year from us at Bethesda. Don't quote me on that last part, but that's what I got. So,
pretty to the point, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm glad that, I mean, that's the thing. There were a lot of complaints about the game, but they're listening.
They're listening.
And they're making sure that we know that they're listening.
Yeah. And I like that one of the things about, so like a lot of people are comparing Fallout 76 to No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Here's what they're doing so much better. And so like I was on the No Man's Sky thing. I even talked about it, I think, originally in the podcast about how I was enjoying new updates with No Man's Sky. One of the things about it was that they released the game and then they disappeared.
Yeah.
They like had people show up to their offices and their lights were out. Like they just were like, let's disappear. People are upset. We're going to disappear. Kudos to Bethesda for still giving updates. Be like, hey, we're here. We're working on stuff. For being active in the community, not just on Twitter. I don't look at them on Facebook. I'm mainly on Twitter and Reddit. Looking at their feedback and updates. I don't know how much Instagram. Like what you're going to solve.
They're pretty active.
They're active on Instagram, but I don't know if they're going to solve any community issues on Instagram.
It's more so they post and go.
Right. So it's really nice to see them still working and doing stuff and being active and engaging people and listening to people and tell them that it's like, we hear your concerns. We're working on it. We know this is an issue. We know that you want this. We'll let you know when we have something concrete to bring it to. So kudos. I'm excited to see what they've got, especially player vending.
I was gonna say, I'm sure that is the big thing for you.
I have more to talk about in terms of that.
Oh, I'm sure, because when I read it, I was like, man, David's gonna have a field day.
So let's talk about a little bit about what we've been doing in Fallout 76. The first thing is I want to talk about a community thing that's been a problem since the beginning of the new year. So I don't know if you've heard about the issue that happened on New Year's, what's gone down. So you remember Y2K, right?
Yeah.
You remember the whole thing back like in 1999.
Only 90s kids will remember.
Only 90s kids will remember this. Only 80s kids. I want to be like, only the 1920s kids will remember this. That's what I want.
Speaking of, we're about to be in the 20s, dude. Isn't that weird? Think about it. We're almost in the 20s.
I know. There's going to be kids, 20s kids.
20s. People
are not going to be like, we're in the 20s. That's going to be crazy. Anyways, what happened was Nuke Silas that reset every week on the Monday, or I think it's on Monday they reset and they redo the stuff. It seemed like, and I am just a lowly person on a mic, and I don't know how they've coded it. All of the signs that they have set up for nuclear silos, if you haven't discovered that yet, I won't reveal the location of where they are. They have all the information with some of the keywords and different stuff, all said complete and incomplete right on top of each other. All three of them. When you would go to the nuclear silo, you couldn't access it. It would say, you would go to the terminal and it would say, you can't access this nuclear silo right now. It's not open.
Bud.
It's not open. And people are like, what is going down?
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, wait a second. These are all on timers. So what happened was, from what the community can piece together, now I don't know if this is official or anything, when 2019 hit, they weren't programmed to go into 2019. They were just thought about 2018. So the 2019, like Y2K, like how they thought it would happen, or all the computers would be like, oh, I don't know how to do anything. That's what happened with the nuclear silos. It's on New Year's Day in 2019. It was like
they just didn't.
They didn't work. Fortunately, today they took Fallout down for an hour or two.
I noticed it was in the middle of the day,
and they fixed it. So it shouldn't be that much of an issue. But I thought it was worth mentioning. It was like
Y2K2.
Yeah, they need to upgrade the tracking software in the mythical world of Fallout. So let me give you an update here. Squat and gobble.
I need to know about your business ventures here.
So if you're familiar, in our last episode,
last time,
yes,
on Vault Boys WV,
we have talked about the fact that I was going to open a restaurant and I wasn't sure if I was going to call it the Squat and Gobble or the what I have, Dave's Last Resort, and it was set in the cranberry bog, originally near a steakhouse.
Yes.
I decided on Squat and Gobble. I like that, so I had this thing running. I had a bounty on my head of like 70 caps because I was bored one night and I was like, I really want this workshop, and I don't feel like going to a different server to look at it, so I'm just going to take it from this dude. And so I waltz in there and I'm like getting the bounty, and I'm like level, what am I now, 120? And so this guy's like, I'm not going to fool with that. He can just have it. I don't really care. And so I get it, but I get a bounty because I had to like destroy turrets and unlock doors and do different stuff. And so once I had this bounty, I was back at my camp. This guy showed up that was high level, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." And a lot of the time, people that have been killing people with bounties, they don't take their junk.
Yeah,
they've just been like waiting around and then saying, "Hey," be like, "Hey, here's your junk. Here's your stuff. I just wanted the bounty. Just wanted to come see what you do."
Yeah.
And the guy was like, this random dude was like super impressed with the Squat and Gobble, and he was like, "This is fantastic, but you have it in the wrong location. Yeah. Nobody's going to be out here." I was like, well, yeah, nobody really is going to be out here because either everybody is in, like, exploring. Everybody is either in Watoga or near White Springs.
Yeah.
Or in the forest in general. And so I was like, okay, let me move it. He was like, you need to move it to the forest. I was like, well, I guess you're right. Yeah. Then I want to move it to Charleston because that's, like, I was like, I'm from Charleston, and I think that would be cool, and so found a location in Charleston, moved it there, set up the Squat and Gobble.
Right.
The Squat and Gobble has gone through 5 different renovations since it's been open. Adding on new wings, added on a stage to it for a while. It had a stage with instruments. It was very large.
You can jump on the mountain music trail. That's a thing in West Virginia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Squat and Gobble is doing fine. I had a bunch of people come and find it absolutely hilarious that I was like going to trade with them and trading food. People would always buy stuff. There was like maybe 2 or 3 people that would come. And this is like, I've had like 30 people come to this restaurant. Like, in the matter of weeks that it's been open, people be like, because I have a sign. That's the other thing. When I moved it, I created a sign that says "Good Eats" in neon letters that's towards the Charleston train station, which everybody goes to trade caps to this vendor that's there. So everybody sees it. It's on the main road. If you're going into Charleston, you're coming down from Flatwoods, you're going to see it. I have Vault Boy signs that point towards that are under street lights. Like, it is very neatly marketed.
I need to see this. I haven't seen it yet.
Now, we'll get to that.
Okay.
So I've had a bunch of people that came and enjoyed it. I had a guy, I think his name is, his username is Spade. He's like a Twitch streamer. Loved it. It was like super bad. I went to his camp and I made these signs. So I figured out I could go to workshops and just like blueprint stuff. And so I've been using the blueprint system, and I've made billboards for Vault Boys. Are like neon. Listen to Vault Boys WV podcast. That's
good marketing.
That's good I mean, people. I mean, it's like in the game. You can see it, and it's like you're at a workshop. You're going down the road, and you see the neon sign. You'd be like, "Well, these guys certainly put in a lot of effort to this." I also have photo op booths that I've made as well. There's a bunch of stuff that I
want to know if anyone listening is listening because of that.
Yes.
Let us know.
Yes, it is.
Comment.
It is
something.
It is imperative that you let us know if that marketing has. Here's the thing: I will offer. You will eat free at the Squat and Gobble or whatever it is to be.
Yes.
For the rest of your days.
Just let us know. Email us. Comment, tweet, whatever. What's the email? VaultBoysWV@gmail.com.
Yes.
Let us know because we want to know how our marketing. This is phase 1.
This is phase 1 of our Fallout 76 viral marketing campaign.
Hashtag that's my sloth.
Hashtag that's my sloth. I need to make that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the restaurant.
Yeah.
Originally, I just had this menu of Mothman omelets, the daily special, which I created. It was like whatever food I had on me. It's like, that's 8 caps. I don't care what it is. It's 8 caps. And Salisbury steaks. And we've talked about this.
Yeah.
So that's been the menu. And I've thought, you know what? I have a lot of purified water. So I'm just going to give everybody that walks through the door free water. Because
Complimentary
that's
water.
what you would do if you like had a restaurant. You know, you would have
Lemon
free
water.
Lemon water. Yeah,
We don't have lemon.
We don't have lemon in the game, but
post-apocalyptic West
purified
Virginia,
water. They all get it. So that's like when you come to my restaurant, you get something. It's like friendly for people who, and sometimes if it's low level, maybe I'll change the prices on it to make it more affordable for people that are just coming around that wanna just enjoy the experience. So I've done that, and then it's gone through several, as I've said, revisions. And so now I've learned that I can fit 2 different buildings in my camp zone. And I have like figured out the resource management behind it. So the Squat and Gobble is hereby declared dead.
Oh.
The Squat and Gobble is dead.
Okay.
In its place, I am opening the restaurant known as Tutors Biscuit World. That is BIZKIT World.
Wow.
That's to avoid lawyers.
Yeah. That's a big move.
Tutors Biscuit World.
Biscuit World.
I am remodeling the Squat and Gobble to look like the inside of the Tutors Biscuit World that is on Washington Street. In the game, my Tutors Biscuit World is on Washington Street.
That's cool. I like that.
So I said that there's room for 2 buildings. Right. So I have this restaurant, Tutors Biscuit World, because, you see a hole in the creative fabric of the universe and you need to feel it.
Right.
Like, that's what... So I've always said that we need a Tutors Biscuit World in Fallout 76. Well, guess what? Now we have Tutors Biscuit World.
Yeah.
Second restaurant. When you were in college, Austin... Well, let me go. Let me go a little bit more current.
Okay.
And then we'll get back there. Party Boy perk. I'm a melee-based character. So increases the strength help my melee weapons. When I'm doing like Scorch Beasts or whatever the freak, I have an explosive machine gun I've talked about that does. But for the most part, I'm running around. I've got a switchblade now that I really like. That's a vampiric switchblade. And so I have like top rank martial artist and incisor. So I'm just like really fast. I'm like stabby stab. I'm like the little bee and I'm super fast and I go around and just stab things.
Yeah.
I'm like the pint-sized slasher.
The pint-sized slasher, yeah.
Yes. And then with the vampiric effect on it, it heals me. So I don't need stim packs while I'm doing like low-level stuff because I'm just stabbing stuff. It heals me.
Yeah.
So with a melee build, it helps to increase your strength. One of the best ways to do that is by drinking alcohol. And if you have the Party Boy perk, like I had mentioned before, you're drinking like the Cannibal Alcoholic, if you remember. Yeah. I'm drinking a lot of alcohol to do stuff. So I was like, okay, so that's like an interest of my situation. So I was like, okay. The second business that I'm going to open, if we go back to really, I mean, the foundation of our friendship is in high school, but I mean, really the foundation of our friendship happened when I went to go visit my buddies Nick and Nathan at Marshall. We met up with you. You were there. Where did we go?
Where didn't we go?
Where did we go, though? We went to the Thirsty Whale.
The Thirsty Whale. Rest in peace to the Thirsty Whale.
Thirsty Whale was a bar.
What a place.
A bar that I sat beside a 70-year-old man who saw probably a girl that was 20 and was like, dressed in going out clothes. And this 7-year-old man turned around and looked at me and he said, "You know what the difference between 70 and 18 is?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Not a gosh darn thing." And then slapped this girl's butt and ran out of the bar.
Oh, man.
So we went to the Thirsty Whale, which is like, we were...
I have a feeling he didn't say gosh darn, too, did
No, he did not say gosh darn. No, he did not. He did not. It was much more explicit than I make it out to be. So we were like 18 going to this bar, drinking underage, because they would give you neon bracelets if you're underage.
It was like the most false sense of security ever.
Yes.
It was like, okay, well, we're going to put this bracelet on, and we're going to mark your hand. And then you just saw a line of people going into the bathroom. To wash their hands off and to take the bracelet off.
Yes.
Yeah. I perfected the motion of scrubbing your hand with your finger.
Your hand hairs off.
Yeah. It's oh man. Those were the days. Your hand was just raw from just rubbing your knuckle. So what a time.
So now, beside Tutors Biscuit World, I am opening up the Thirsty Moth.
The Thirsty Moth.
Because, Austin...
That's the most incredible thing I've ever heard.
If we go back, what did we call... We all had this, like, friends group that went there. And this is back, in 2011?
Yes.
What did we call our friends group back in the day?
Phi Beta Gamma Mu.
Formerly known as...
I don't want to talk...
The Brotherhood of Steel.
Listen, you just pulled everything like full circle. I don't know.
So back in 2011, we were calling our friends group the Brotherhood of Steel.
How did this happen? How are we here? I'm like amazed right now that you are somehow pulling all of this.
I'm pulling 2011 into this conversation.
Listen, I have suppressed these things in my memory. Other than the Thirsty Well thing has obviously always been fresh in my mind.
Yes.
But like the brother. Wow.
This has been going on. We have been Fallout based for more time.
We've been on brand.
In fact, I looked up the Facebook group that we still
I remember
have.
that. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it still a thing?
We could post in there.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you can post in there right
I gotta
now.
Look at this real quick.
Go ahead and do that. I'll screenshot it.
Let me see.
So, Tutors Biscuit World. The Thirsty Moth. And I'm going to model the Thirsty Moth and Tutors Biscuit World after the real-life locations based on memory of how they look. So there's going to be 2 businesses at the camp. Mm-hmm. Now, let me take it the final step further.
Yeah.
I'm creating a faction, Austin. I'm a business owner. I was first number 1 business owner. Now I am going under renovations to own 2 businesses, which I have prototyped, and I can do it under budget. I don't have any turrets at my camp. I have 0. You can just come and like tear it all down.
As you please.
As you please. It doesn't matter. So I started to learn that you could go and these workshops and build a bunch of stuff and blueprint it. So I have started this new, I'm calling it a social movement. And this is going to be a community thing for podcasters. No, but not podcasters, I guess listeners. We're podcasters, but we're going to be doing it too. If you do a podcast and you listen to this podcast, you can also do that.
Double points.
The Charleston Atomic Alliance. Much similar to the Charleston Area Alliance, which is the collection of business owners within Charleston that come together, sponsor events, and help the community out. What we are doing with the Charleston Atomic Alliance, how you become a member. Number 1, you got to build your camp in the greater Charleston area. Okay. What I'm calling the greater Charleston area is the forest.
Okay.
It's greater Charleston area.
Got a lot of space there.
Closer to the city, the better. Yeah. Obviously. You know, you want a city location, you want it right there, you get it. Yes. Here's what we're doing. We're going to workshops. Okay. We're putting up signs that this is owned by the Charleston Atomic Alliance. Okay. Then what we are doing is we are getting a bunch of resource extractors, we're getting a bunch of water, and we're leaving it unlocked.
Oh.
So you have signs directing people in. We're helping low-level players. So if you were really looking for something, you can like lock one resource extractor and be like, I really need this uranium ore. Like, I really need this. Free water at every location.
Jackpot for anyone.
Free water at every location. Yeah. Free resources at every location.
Is there just like an honor system? Like
it's just an honor system. It's not. It can be an uneasy alliance.
If you take more than 3, we will kill you.
It's an honor system.
Yeah.
Helping out people.
Yeah. Good karma.
Yes. So I would encourage you. Yeah. Join the Charleston Atomic Alliance.
I think I'm already in.
Help the people. We're trying to rebuild Charleston here.
I'm going to have
That's the thing. I'm trying to rebuild. I'm trying to be like the mover. I'm not trying to be the mayor of Charleston. I'm just trying to be like the one pulling the...
I just picture you on a billboard, like standing with your hands on your hips, like looking up.
I have that picture. Like, you want it?
Oh, you do have it?
I do.
And like that, and it just says like, join the Charleston Atomic Alliance today.
Yes.
Make a difference in your community.
Yes.
I think that we should do this. I think that, I'm in. I'm gonna.
It is a social movement that we are starting here. And listen, we're not, this isn't like a brand loyalty kind of thing.
Right.
You don't, there's no,
we're
there's
just
no
doing
rules.
it for the people.
The only rules is that, number 1, you got to be helping to rebuild Charleston, which means you got to put your camp near Charleston.
Yeah.
Number 2, you got to the workshops that you claim near Charleston. You got to get those under control.
We need a uniform.
We do need a uniform. Well, I've been sporting weird suits.
Yeah.
Like
I've noticed
full
that.
suits. That's been my go-to. But I think that's just like my
Yeah.
I want to be like the Willy Wonka of Charleston, you know?
The
Like,
top hat with the cane.
Yeah, I want to be the Willy
doing
Wonka.
front flip, like somersaults randomly.
Right.
And,
I want to be somewhere in between Joker and Willy Wonka. Like
Okay.
somewhere in between.
yeah. Just, you can't go too far on one side.
So I've been talking a lot about me. I see that you have posted in the Facebook community group, commonly known as the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yes.
So I invite you to come for drinks at the Thirsty Moth, and we can
talk about the old days and
talk about ye olden days.
And
I thought about just calling it Thirsty Whale, but nobody would understand that reference.
Yeah.
But
Thirsty Moth.
The Thirsty Moth.
It's more suited. I think it's fitting.
People that remember this like obscure bar in Huntington be like, oh.
Yeah.
If they saw it, they'd be like, I get it.
Okay, yeah.
Because
I wish there was a Tutors next to the Thirsty Whale. Well, it's the Huntington Ale House now.
Now,
They're a little
it's
fancier.
like super fancy.
They have really good food. I'll throw that out there. So honestly, if you ever get a chance to go. It is actually very delicious.
Go and do.
Yeah. But if there would have been a Tutors next to it when we were going there, buddy, I'd have put a hurtin' on it. A hurtin'.
It would be like this like positive feedback loop where you would drink the alcohol, go to the Tutors, drink the alcohol, go to the Tutors, drink.
Oh man,
just like
I would have been the most unhealthy person.
Yes,
in Huntington,
correct.
I already was close, probably as much as I went to Tutors during the day.
Well, Austin, speaking of the health, I suppose it would be healthy enough for us to move on into the next segment. So this week, Austin, we are going back to cryptozoology, which I learned. A listener, I had said cryptology before, and I had said it wrong.
They shut that down real quick.
I was incorrect. It is not cryptology. That's like the study of like codes and keys and like Sherlock Holmesy stuff.
Yeah.
Cryptozoology is the study of mythical, fabled, folkish beings.
Things that are right up our alley, if you will.
Oh, right up our alley. Because guess what we're talking about? We're going to be finding that Snally. As you know, Austin, Snally Gaster. I had no clue what Snally Gaster was. When I knew all the other ones. I knew Flywind Monster. I knew Grafton Monster.
Yeah.
I knew Mothman. Duh.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Mothman is like he's like a
Oh,
meme.
yeah.
He's like created a meme.
Well, I was playing with you when we discovered it,
When we
and
were
we
like,
both were just dumbfounded. We were like, "What is this thing? It looks terrifying." And then we were dead.
We were like level 5, and we were fighting a level 15 Snally Gaster.
We died really, really fast. I feel
Yes,
like.
because it spits acid.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't ready at all.
I learned some interesting facts about the Snally Gaster I would like to share with you. How do you feel about that?
Let's pour some tea here. Let's spill the tea.
Let me take the hot pot off here. In the 1730s, there was a small town settled by German immigrants near Frederick County, Maryland, that was claiming to be continually terrorized by a strange beast. This is like back like pre-revolution. This is like we were still under the British rule. The beast was originally said to look like a dragon, but reports range from a mashup of birds, reptiles, squids, demons, and ghouls. The creature would swoop silently from the sky to steal livestock and small children to suck their blood. The settlers called the beast the Schneller Geist, which translates to quick spirit. And I probably butchered Schnellergeist.
I feel like Schnellergeist was probably said very like violently. I can't even do it properly, but I just picture it like they probably couldn't say it without yelling it. Like it was never said as calm as we are saying it right now.
Well, if you remember, we had a bunch of the PR team for Bethesda in West Virginia with the Greenbrier event, and so we had some of the people from the Germany division for Bethesda's PR were in Charleston, and they did a little interview with me, and I kind of showed them around the area, got them acquainted, and we all kind of went out to dinner, and I wanted a beer that was German, and I was sitting around a bunch of like native German speakers, and I'm like, I am going to butcher this so bad, and I was like, can I take the Weissen? And
they all just, it was like the record scratch.
They were being very nice, but they all kind of looked at me like,
I just picture the record scratch, and they all just like look down the table at you when keeping it real goes on.
I apologize. Schneller Geist.
I had to do like the fist, the balled up fist when I said it too. Like just yelling it like,
Yes. One thing that I learned was apparently Pies and Pines specifically, as we mentioned. So apparently American restaurants turn the AC on more than they do in European countries. And so it is very cold to European people when they come into American restaurants from like the outside world.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Anywho, Schnellergeist translates to quick spirit. The Snally Gaster remained a prominent figure in folklore until 1909, when reports resurfaced and were printed in local newspapers describing the monster as having enormous wings, a long pointed bill, claws like steel hooks, and an eye in the center of its forehead. The Snally Gaster has a mortal enemy known as DeMeo,
which that cracks me up. I picture it like the DeMeo is like Newman from Seinfeld.
Yes.
So just the Snally Gaster is just like DeMeo.
Yes. So the DeMeo is essentially it's a creature that is a wolf that looks like a wolf. It walks on its hind legs, and it uses its front legs as hands. So it's just like a wolf that walks upright. It's essentially the fantastic Mr. Fox. Yeah.
I picture them as neighbors, and they like walk out to get their paper at the same time. They're both drinking coffee.
That could be like an Aesop fable. The DeMeo and the Snally Gaster.
They just like look at each other and they take a sip, and Snally Gaster's like, heard you were talking shit.
The DeMeo didn't appear until 1944. But before that, in 1909, there was a publication that rested in Middletown, Maryland, that published a story about a Snally Gaster encounter. But soon after, the story went nationwide. A bunch of the other news outlets picked it up. So much that the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. offered a bounty for the hide of the Snally Gaster set at $100,000. Back in 1909, that was a lot of money. Yeah. So much, the bounty was so prolific, and it was like viral news. It was like viral fake news, you know. The U.S. president at the time, Theodore Roosevelt, considered postponing a scheduled African safari to join in on the hunt for the beast himself in Maryland. So the beast was also reported, I think in 1909, it like that was the main reports, and then it kind of fell off. And then it was like every 20 years or so, the reports would resurface or something like that. So in West Virginia, this is where it ties in, is reportedly abducted a woman near the town of Scrabble. Yes,
great name.
Spelled like that, which
great
my
name.
Favorite place that I've been in West Virginia so far has been Scary.
Yeah. Scary. Odd is good.
Odd, yeah.
Scrabble might be runner up, though.
And a nest was reported found with an egg the size of a barrel near Sharpsburg. It has also been reported in the states of Ohio and New Jersey.
What hasn't been reported in New Jersey, though?
New Jersey.
They have everything.
I know. They got Chris Christie. They got Snally Gasters. They got
the Devil.
Snooky.
Yeah.
They've got, what is
the
that
Jersey
one?
Devil.
Jersey Devil. They've got...
This is like another situation with the Snally Gaster with, Teddy Roosevelt and all this stuff.
Yes.
Where it's like, I just wonder what things would be like if Twitter was around during stuff like this.
Yes.
Because I feel like Twitter now, because I won't lie, I get a lot of my news from Twitter. Because, a lot of there's a lot more commentary, obviously, which typically can be hilarious on Twitter, I think. But you can get a lot of your breaking news in the morning. A lot of the time, if I'm wanting to check on some news, I'll hit my the search icon, and there's the trending, and you can typically keep up with most important things. But I just picture just the memes coming out of it of the Snally Gaster hunt.
Yes.
It's just I don't know. We need to one day. We need
I
to
feel
sit
like the
down.
last like real like utilization of like that kind of mystery was like Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Wait, not like the new film,
Right.
but like the early one where they were acting like it was real.
Yeah. You couldn't tell. It was like,
and they were like acting, and they were like, these aren't actors, and then they like secluded the actors for like a month.
Yeah.
Once the movie released, and they were like, "Oh, they disappeared. Where are they?"
That
And
was
it was like it was all set up, but
I
was
remember
like,
as a kid, I was terrified of that movie. I was like, I was watching it with my cousin, and he was a little bit older, and he knew, but I was still at the age where I wasn't sure. I was terrified.
yes,
I just the whole time, and I kept asking him, "Was this real? Or is this real?" He was like, "Yeah, it's real, man." So for a while, I believe
it's like I think that they set the ground, and then Marble Hornets came in, and they took it over with the Slender Man, which the Slender Man movie is not as good as anything Marble Hornets. By the way, I haven't even seen the Slender Man movie.
You guys, I think you introduced me to Slender Man.
I introduced you to Marble Hornets. Yeah, we've talked about it before.
That was during the Brotherhood of Steel days.
Brotherhood of Steel. The
Nathan's-
Brotherhood of Steel.
It was in Nathan's grandma's
Yes.
basement, and it was terrifying. It was like we were terrified of the Slender Man, and Nick was terrified of like velvet blankets or something.
It's been a story we've told. But back in 1909, these people were terrified.
Oh, I mean, you think about like how. I mean, you're really gonna see it in what newspapers and word of mouth. You're gonna hear it word of mouth. So and gossip is gonna spread.
And it looks like it's like described as so many things that it's like anything could look like a Snally Gaster.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and it's sort of. I mean, at that point in time, I just feel like Pandemonium. It was just so. I mean, there's still like hysteria and all this stuff now.
Right,
it'll spread so easily. But at that point, to go viral at that point,
well, it's like every other cryptid that we've talked about, like that's had like a resurgence. The thing that I think is most interesting in comparison, calling out some earlier episodes, is what is it with like presidents and mythical creatures?
Yeah.
Like
Jefferson and his sloth.
And Jefferson and the sloths, and now you got Teddy Roosevelt and his freaking Snally Gaster.
Yeah.
It's like the dude was gonna go on vacation. He was like, "Nah, man, I really kind of want to go hunt this fake monster."
I picture like his family's like, "All right, well, we're gonna go have a great vacation," and he's like, "Are we though? Or am I gonna go hunt this thing?
Am I gonna go around the neighbor? Am I gonna essentially go around my backyard and look for a dragon, bird, fish, squid, demon, ghoul?"
Imagine like Obama when he was president having some sort of creature that he just wanted to go hunt.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know.
Teddy Roosevelt was just a very interesting president, and
I just picture Robin Williams. I can't picture the actual Teddy Roosevelt. I just picture Robin Williams.
Well,
yeah. I just picture him hunting a Snally Gaster, which actually Robin Williams himself hunting a Snally Gaster.
I would like a Night at the Museum spinoff where they have just Robin Williams as Teddy Roosevelt.
R.I.P. in peace, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, shout out.
But I just
hunting the Snally Gaster in a film.
In the here's a crossover. Mm-hmm. Teddy Roosevelt hunting a giant sloth in the museum with Ben Stiller. I don't know. Do you? I think that's my sloth.
Wasn't Thomas Jefferson in that? Now, here's the thing. Buddy cop movie, Teddy Roosevelt, Thomas Jefferson looking for sloths and Snally Gasters.
Bill and Ted. Have them get both of them. Bill and Ted's whatever adventure you want to call it, because there's been several.
Yeah.
We're making ideas, man.
I'm telling you
We're
what.
an idea factory.
Universal Studios, Sony, Disney. We've got ideas.
Oh, man.
Marvel Entertainment. We've got your next superhero film.
Yeah.
It's called The Buddy Cop, Teddy Roosevelt, and Thomas Jefferson. Lin-Manuel Miranda. We have your next musical idea.
Oh, man.
Forget Hamilton.
We've
got Snally Roosevelt. Teddy Gaster. That's a better one. Teddy Gaster. Yes.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm in.
So I just thought it was interesting that like a kind of not a really West Virginia specific cryptid. Not that they have to be West Virginia specific. It's just fun to have cryptids in video games, but that it would be included. And truthfully, fighting against it in the game, it looks like what you get when you cross a bird, a reptile, a squid, a ghoul, and a demon.
It's just
like it looks like a thing.
Yeah, it's just it's a thing.
Looks like that thing on South Park that says "Kill me."
It's just a weirdly, like obscurely specific, like just. And I don't know.
The Foley for it, like the sounds that it makes, sounds like my grandfather hawking a loogie. Like that's because it's
I picture the first person that came across a Snally Gaster in real life was just really high, and just it was dark outside, and they just saw like some naked drunk guy throwing up in the woods, just like after a binger, just like. Slobbing his way
with
around.
a Halloween costume.
Maybe
on.
He fell in the river and he's like wet and just he had like just moss and like all this stuff on him and he's just throwing up.
It could be.
I think I just solved it.
I think you've got it down. Well, that's the last really cryptid that we haven't covered on the podcast. We've talked a little bit about all of the cryptids so far. That one I kind of wanted to wait until the game came out to see what their take on it was. And I think there's a holotape of this boy that goes to the circus and then is like, oh, we've got the Snally Gaster coming up in like a sideshow of some sort at the circus. Right. And then the Snally Gaster gets loose and eats the children because that's what Snally Gasters do.
Yeah.
Schneller guys.
You can't be mad at the Snally Gaster.
Is they eat the kids.
It's just their way of life.
That's why there's no kids in Fallout.
Yeah. They ate all of them.
Yeah. They're just...
What was it, Little Lamplight? Is that why they're all hiding out in the...
Yeah, they're hiding from the Snally Gaster.
Yeah, they're hiding from the Snally Gaster.
Correct. All right, so Austin, I have a new special segment to talk about. Mm-hmm. It is our Fallout 76 New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
And these resolutions are things that maybe we want from the game.
Yeah.
Maybe we want for ourselves to do in the game.
Yeah.
So I would like to hear some of your resolutions.
I just have a big resolution, and that's just to start working on my camp. How many episodes have I said,
I'm going to build a camp?
I'm going to build a camp. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's a new year. It's a new me, I hope.
Yes.
I'm going to get in there, and I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to build a rival biscuit shop.
See, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit because then you're stepping on my franchise. You're stepping on my franchise.
Everyone needs competition, man. Complacency kills everybody.
What's it going to be called? That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I can't give out my secrets yet. Because then I can't, because you already have this stuff in place. I have to build my own, and then this is what's going to happen. You're Good Burger. I'm about to be Mondo Burger, but I'm not going to have the downfall because I'm not going to have douchebags and shiny clothes. I'm gonna shut down Good Burger. Keenan and Kel aren't coming to save the day. You're going to end up in the asylum like they did, but you're not getting out. You're not jumping out through a window on the 4th floor. And that never made sense to me that they jumped out of that and they were just fine. Like, you're jumping 4 stories up, diving through a window. They threw the old man out the window, too, and he was fine. The logistics of that movie make no sense. I don't know. But back to what I was saying, I'm going to be a successful Mondo Burger.
Okay.
And I'm going to shut you down. It's going to happen. I'm going to build right across the street from
Austin, you know there are other restaurants in Charleston that you could do a play on.
I'm sticking with Mondo Burger.
Like you could do.
I'm just going to be Mondo Burger.
You're just gonna be Mondo Burger.
Yeah,
like, that's the name of it. You're gonna recreate Mondo Burger. Yeah. You're gonna get You're gonna get the clean spacesuit. Yeah.
I'm gonna invite Sinbad. I'm gonna invite Sinbad to come eat at Mondo Burger.
That sounds great.
Back to I don't know if you remember this or if you were if you were on Twitter at this point. I used to be buds with Sinbad on Twitter.
I do remember that.
Because he was coming to Huntington.
That's right.
And I tweeted at him and I said, "Hey Sinbad, if I bring a Turbo Man action figure, will you autograph it?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yes, please bring Turbo Man." And then he followed me. And I would tweet at him like once a week because
Yes.
my buddies thought it was hilarious. And I'd be
Yes.
like, hey, Sinbad, what's up? And he'd be like, oh, hey, what's going on, Austin? Like, he would start responding to me like normal. And then I deleted that account because I was like, I'm getting rid of Twitter. And now Sinbad doesn't follow me still. So
you screwed up because I want Sinbad on this podcast.
I think we could do it. I think that needs to be our next goal. We need to get Sinbad on the podcast.
Speaking of like Twitter, people on Twitter talking,
Yeah.
you know who really loves Fallout 76? Ice-T.
Really?
Ice-T, like from Law and Order, loves it.
His Twitter account is God tier. I will throw that out right now. The things that he responds to people with,
fantastic.
just God tier content. One of my favorite follows is Ice-T.
By far. So your New Year's resolution is you were going to build a camp.
I'm going to build Mondo Burger.
You're going to build Mondo Burger.
I'm setting
You're not going to do anything You're not going to build like a secret sandwich society. You're not going to build like a
you go big or go
pies.
home.
You're going to go
Mondo
Mondo
Burger.
Burger.
Mondo Burger.
You are a monster.
Well,
You are a monster.
I mean, I'm just maybe Mondo Biscuit. That's going to be the name of it.
No, you're not. No. You're sticking Mondo Burger.
Mondo
I'm not
Biscuit.
going to allow that.
Mondo Biscuit.
Listen, as like
For copyright reasons. Mondo Biscuit.
as like the unofficial leader of Charleston.
Screw your Atomic Alliance.
Let me
It's
tell
Mondo
you,
Biscuit.
I'm a property owner in Charleston, both literally and in the game. I have real estate that I have claimed that is mine. That maybe if I log out of this server in life and I log back in, maybe somebody's actually claimed it, and I got to try again. So if I can see.
I'm laughing because I just looked down and you just have a Duke Ellington CD sitting right here.
That's my life.
You just have a Duke
Ellington CD,
Not
yes.
even in the case. It's just Duke Ellington.
Yes.
I'm sorry that was off topic, but I looked down and I was like, is that a Duke Ellington CD?
That's my life. Anywho, your resolution.
My resolution is
First part of
to
it, building your
close
camp.
business.
Building your camp, that sounds great. Second part of it, this is Mondo Burger business.
Yeah. Second resolution is to finally complete the Lighthouse Mothman mission. Quest, whatever you want to call it. I still haven't done that. So
I've done it 5 times, my friend. I've done it 5 times.
That's a weird flex, but okay.
It is a weird flex.
Humble brag.
I'm flexing on my Mothman skills.
Well, listen.
It's a good flex. It's not a weird. I mean, it's like weird as in weird science. But
To be fair, my overall resolution is to play more Fallout because the last few weeks I have either been gone or, as of very recently, I've been actually playing basketball in China and in the G League of the NBA. And I actually just got signed by the Houston Rockets. I've been coming off the bench, and then now I'm actually a starting point guard for the Houston Rockets.
Wow.
All on NBA 2K. I've gotten sucked in.
So you and Yao Ming go way back.
Well, no, see, Yao Ming retired a while back.
Okay.
So, I haven't met him yet. I met Kareem
Is Yao Ming actually retired?
Yeah. I met Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a few days ago. That was cool. He told me to, just block all the distractions out and not spend all my money.
You need to take NBA 2K19 out of your system and burn it.
But here's the thing. So, I made it to the NBA. So, now it's time to go back to Fallout and create Mondo Biscuit. I see my life goals in front of me, and I'm not going to let anything get in my way.
Mondo Biscuit.
It's a thing, man. I just came up with that, and I'm going to run with it.
I'm going to get...
I'm working on the trademark right now.
Here's a guarantee that I'm going to do. I'm going to guarantee you something. I'm going to get Tutors Biscuit World Twitter on my side. They're going to get all Wendy's.
Okay, well, that's not fair because Mondo World isn't a real thing.
Exactly.
And that movie came out in 1999.
So I'm going to
I don't have... No. You know what? I'm going to get Tutors Biscuit World on my side. I'm going to get them to sue you in the game.
Sue me in the game.
Yeah.
To log in as a lawyer in Fallout 76
Lawyer up, bud.
and sue
Lawyer
me
up.
in the game.
Lawyer up. Mondo Biscuit's coming for you, bud. It's a true.
Well,
we're already look. I'm pulling up my phone right now. Yep, we're already trending on Twitter. So take that as you will, because we're coming for you, bud.
Pause. No, you're not allowed to talk for the rest of the time. You've just been paused. Not until I unpause you. Then you're good. So unpause.
I'm gonna listen to Duke Ellington and work on my freaking blueprints for Mondo Biscuit.
So my New Year's resolution is to get these restaurants up and working. To then...
Spoiler alert, it's not because Mondo Biscuit's coming for you.
Here's... You know what? I don't have a resolution, but I do have a challenge to you. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to set up a spreadsheet, and we're going to track our expenses.
Okay.
And we're going to track what we're selling, what our profits are overall, see who's the more profitable business in the long term. We can do this. I can wait until you're ready to launch, until you're ready to go, and then we're going to have a go off.
Okay.
A little friendly competition.
Okay.
I said friendly, like it's real forceful.
Well, I heard that Scorched Beasts actually like Mondo Biscuit, and they won't tear my place down like they tore yours down. But guess what? I'm going to train them, and I'm going to have them tear yours down again. I'm just going to eliminate the competition forcefully.
I'm going to come to your base.
No, I'm going to have turrets.
I'm going to nuke it.
I'm going to have turrets.
I have nuked your apartment. And then, you know what happened after that? Marshall lost their game. So
All right, well.
I'm going after you.
Did Virginia Tech win their bowl game?
I don't remember.
We won ours.
If they even played it, I haven't watched.
I don't know if they did.
I've been busy.
I don't know what the deal
So,
was.
on a serious note, though, let's get serious. Next week, big stuff is happening.
Big stuff.
Next week, there is no episode of Vault Boys WV. We're very sorry. Vault Boys WV not going away, though. The week after that, there will be an episode of Vault Boys WV. We'll be taking a week off. Mm-hmm. In this week off, be expecting 2 new projects from the team behind Vault Boys WV. I don't want to discuss them until they're ready to go, ready to churn out, but be prepared.
You will enjoy them.
You should enjoy them.
Oh, they will.
If you enjoy Vault Boys WV, you will enjoy these.
They're not welcome in Mondo Biscuit if they don't enjoy it.
There you go. So, Austin, for today, that's it. Don't forget to email us your questions at vaultboyswv@gmail.com. Check us out on social media at vaultboyswv and tell your friends. From Holler to Highway, we've got you covered 6 ways to Sunday. Tune in next week for more talk radio on your favorite Appalachian station, and may the wisest Mothman bless you as you travel these country roads. Mondo Biscuit sucks.
Wow, what?